House Targaryen was not the only house that survived the doom of Valyria. In Essos, the tale of a visiting dragon lord named Aurion, who raised forces from the Cohoric colonists and declared himself the first emperor of Valyria. Supposedly, he flew back to the freehold, with a horse 30,000 strong following behind. He was never seen or heard from again. There were other dragon lords in Tyrosh and Mia, but they were killed off by the citizens of those cities. No one wanted a reminder of Great Valyria sitting in their backyard. Besides, with the recent power vacuum, everyone wanted a slice of the proverbial pie. We know of no other survivors of the doom in Essos. Yet in Westeros, there are 3 families that were spared: House Targaryen, House Celtiga, and House Velaryon. Everyone knows the story of Daenerys the Dreamer and her warning to Lord Aena Targaryen. Supposedly, this is what saved their family from the doom. More cynical historians think that Aena might have met with some mishap at court, something that forced him to choose exile over execution. But who knows? There are stranger things in this world than prophetic dreams and visions. On the other hand, House Velaryon had no dreamers to give warning. They survived in part due to their relative obscurity. They were not among the 40 or so Dragonlord families that ruled the skies. No, they were mere vessels to House Targaryen. It is not clear how they found their way to their island of Driftmark. We know that Dragonstone was raised by the Valyrians some 200 years before the Doom as the westernmost outpost of the Freehold. This was probably done by the Targaryens, as they are the ones who lay claim to the castle. They brought with them their lords, who then settled on islands neighboring Dragonstone. The Velaryons took Driftmark for themselves, while the Celtigas took Claw Isle. Over the centuries, trade flowed between the 2 great continents. Dragon steel blades from Valyria trickled into Westeros, while gold flowed into the coffers of the Targaryens and the Velaryons and the Celtigas. The Velaryons were not dragon riders, and so denied the skies, they laid claim to the sea. They became seafarers and built themselves up as a naval force. It was Valyrian and Celtiga ships that ran the trade routes between Westeros and Essos. Despite its economic importance, this was a backwater to the rest of Valyria. No one cared about it, and probably the Targaryens never spent any significant time there, until Aena moved their whole family to the dingy outposts. By the time Aegon the Conqueror set his sights on Westeros, houses Velaryon and Targaryen had grown closer still. Since they bore the old blood of Valyria, they were suitable for marriage with the Dragon Lords. In fact, it was Velaryon who bore the Conquerors. Velaryon fleets that landed Aegon's forces ashore, and Velaryon forces that first filled Aegon's army. In the shadow of the Aegon fort, Daemon Velaryon, Lord of the Tides, was named Master of Ships and charged with the command of the royal fleet and a seat on what would become the Closed Council. Over the years, so many Velaryons occupied this post that many thought it to be hereditary. When Queen Visenya founded the King's Guard, it was a Velaryon who served as its first Lord Commander. During the Dance of the Dragons, House Velaryon was involved from the very beginning. Its patriarch even survived the annihilation of one faction and managed to poison the figurehead of the other. For centuries, the fortunes of these 2 houses have waxed and waned in tandem, so it is no surprise that with the fall of House Targaryen, the Velaryons have faded back into obscurity. Stannis Baratheon served King Robert as Master of Ships, while the Lords Velaryon and Celtiga were reduced to serving him as sworn lords. When Robert died, the War of the 5 Kings broke out and culled their numbers and their ships Now, the lord of this once illustrious house is a child. This does not bode well for House Velaryon, given the ease with which children become casualties of war.